would like to welcome you all to update the news on the morning of September 10, 2023, including the following main highlights. Mark Meadows. Trump aide fails to have Georgia case moved. A U.S. judge has denied a bid from Mark Meadows, a Trump aide charged in the Georgia election conspiracy inquiry, to move his case to a federal court. Former U.S. President Donald Trump and other co-defendants in the same case have hinted they may also try to shift their cases out of Georgia state court. But the latest ruling does not bode well for any similar legal maneuvers. Mr. Meadows is charged with Donald Trump and 17 others with plotting to overturn Georgia's 2020 vote results. Friday's ruling against the former White House chief of staff means the case by Fulton County prosecutors has survived its first major test. All 19 defendants charged in Fulton County have pleaded not guilty. All of them, including Mr. Trump, have surrendered at a Georgia jail to have their photos and fingerprints taken before being released on bail. Mr. Meadows is accused of arranging calls and meetings in which Mr. Trump allegedly pressured state election officials to change the vote count in his favor. He is charged with racketeering and felony solicitation of violation of a public officer's oath. The former White House aide and his lawyers have argued that he was acting in his capacity as a federal employee, and therefore his case should be moved from state court to federal court. But in a 49-page ruling on Friday afternoon, U.S. District Judge Steve Jones in Atlanta wrote that Mr. Meadows has not met even the quite low threshold to have the case relocated. The judge pointed out that laws prohibit federal employees from participating in elections while acting in their official capacity. Plan to disqualify Trump from ballot gathers steam. How big are Donald Trump's legal problems? The evidence establishes that the actions at the heart of the state's charges against Meadows were taken on behalf of the Trump campaign with an ultimate goal of affecting state election activities and procedures, wrote Judge Jones, an Obama appointee. Meadows himself testified that working for the Trump campaign would be outside the scope of a White House chief of staff. The ruling adds that it does not, at this time, have any effect on similar challenges brought by the other defendants. Mr. Meadows, a former North Carolina lawmaker, is expected to appeal against the ruling, according to the Associated Press. He testified before the federal court for 3 hours last week. According to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, he told the court, "I don't know that I did anything that was outside my scope as chief of staff." He added that he had a very broad responsibility to assure accurate and fair elections. Under a process known as removal, defendants can argue that their cases should be tried in federal court if they were acting in their capacity as federal employees. On Thursday, Mr. Trump's lawyer formally notified the judge in the case that his client may try to move his case to federal court. At least 4 other defendants, former Justice Department official Jeffrey Clark, Georgia lawmaker Sean Still, former Georgia Republican Chairman David Schaefer and alleged fake elector Kathy Latham, have also filed for removal. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has said she wants to try all of the defendants together. Mr. Trump and his co-defendants may hope to find a more sympathetic jury pool in the federal court system. Fulton County, a suburb of Atlanta, is comprised of mostly Democratic voters. Moving to federal court may also buy the lawyers some time as they engage in legal maneuvers related to the switch. Another potential bonus is that cameras are not typically allowed in a federal court. Earlier on Friday, Fulton County released a full report by the grand jury that initially recommended charges against Mr. Trump and his 18 co-defendants. The documents show that the panel recommended criminal charges against a total of 39 people. The 20 people that Ms. Willis elected not to pursue charges against include 1 current and 2 former U.S. senators. The above news has ended the news on the morning of September 10, 2023. Julie would like to sincerely thank you and those of you who have been interested in following us. Hello and see you soon.